Hey everybody, how you doing? One half of Meet the Robinsons here, Dion Robinson, the husband of a beautiful wife, Carissa Robinson. Wanted to get back with you guys and give you another nice little nugget that we use to create a healthy and happy marriage. So during your marriage, you're always going to go through something, right? Good times and bad times, right? And so our goal is to make way more good times than bad times. So when are those opportunities for times to go bad is when confrontation arises. So what we've done in order to deal with confrontation the right way is we've created a process that we use to make sure that we can actually get heard, that our point gets across, and that we can have a civil conversation during that argument. So I wanted to share that process with you guys and see if you like it. If you don't, you do. We want to get your feedback. Use it a couple times. I know it might seem kind of funny and weird the first couple times, but man, my wife and I have gotten into this and it's working for us and everything is going really, really well. So it's a process I like to call Lecr. And that's an acronym. It's Lecr. The first one is you need to listen, right? One of the main things that happens when people try to come, whether it's a husband or a wife, when they try to come speak to their significant other, is that person does not listen. And what I mean by that is while that person is talking, you're already ready to respond, and you respond quickly, right? By coming back and being on your defense. So your main goal is just to listen. So if that person comes to you and says, hey, it really hurts me when you talk to me like that. Instead of saying, well, I didn't mean to talk to you like that. And just ask some more questions and just listen. Say, here, I'm here to listen to you and understand exactly what you're trying to tell me, right? Once you get finished listening without responding, right, the next thing you do is you need to empathize, right? So the first thing you would say after listening and paraphrasing what they say back to you is that, okay, so here's what I'm hearing. And first off, let me say, I apologize that you feel that way because that's not my intentions to make you do that. Right, that might be a way that we empathize with your significant other. The second part of that, or the third part of that, is you clarify. Right, you need to clarify exactly what it is that's going on so that you make sure you understand. So by this time, you've listened to what they had to say, paraphrased it back to them, so you think you can get some clarity of what's going on. You've empathized to let them know that you're their husband or wife, and that's not your intention, is to make them feel the way that they're feeling right now. Right, and then thirdly, you clarify the issue. Make sure that everything is okay. So here's what you're telling me after you empathize. Appreciate where you're coming from. Appreciate how you feel. Just know that that's not my intentions. But just so I understand exactly what you're trying to say, here's what you're trying to say to me. And you spit that back to him. Now, once you went through that exercise, now, if you even want to take it a step further, which is a little bit more progressive, is asking, can you respond to that situation? Because here's the deal, especially with women. Sometimes they just want you to listen. So you can go through that whole process and not use the last step, which is respond, right? Which takes a lot from the significant other not to respond, because human nature is we want to prove that we're right and make sure that they can hear us as well. But sometimes it's not about that. If you're going to be married to somebody forever, sometimes you just got to listen. Sometimes you just got to empathize and make sure that you understand what their situation is, because the better understanding you have, the better you can be as that husband and wife in the future, right? So if you do happen to do that, the last step is you respond. And you respond in a very respectful way. And I think this will propel you to respond in a really good way because you've taken the time to listen and understand the individual. And now you're not playing defense, right? You're sitting down together and you're figuring out how you can actually come up with a solution that will solve that person's feelings or negated feelings, right? And that's what we're looking to do. And we've used this process for the last 2 years that we've been together. And let me tell you, we started off with the yelling and the fussing back and forth. And now when we have a disagreement, it's a very smooth process. Each person feels heard and we move on to the next thing like nothing happened. It doesn't waste we don't have those divots of time where we're ignoring each other or we're awkward around each other, because we clear it up right there and we're here to listen and love each other. Right. So I appreciate you guys listening to me one more time. I'll summarize that process for you. It's L, which stands for listen. E, you got to empathize. C is for clarify. And then R is for respond. We call it Lecr. So use that Lecr process with your husband or wife. I guarantee you, I use this with clients, with everybody. So it's a process that you can use not just with your significant other, but it can help create. So conflict, in my opinion, in a marriage is meant to bring you closer together if it's done correctly, right? It's an opportunity for you to get to understand me and her to and the other person to get to understand the other person, so that we can move closer towards being that best version of ourselves and the best version that we can be for our significant other. Meet the Robinsons, baby. My beautiful wife is upstairs doing her tutorial, I think, on some makeup or something like that. So you'll see her here shortly. But we love all our followers. We appreciate all you guys. Make sure you click our link. We've started some new things that we're doing as well. And as you guys know, I'm a life coach as well, and I do a lot of counseling and other things. And I typically charge quite a bit of money. So we hit the link. Ask us any questions you want. We are here to help. We appreciate, love you. Peace out. Meet the Robinsons.